Well, good morning, guys. I guess afternoon. So that GTI I bought a few weeks ago, it's actually a hoot. I'll take you guys a little drive today and kind of show you around the car a little bit. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So yeah, I got to do a little Home Depot run. We'll do a fun little video in the GTI. Yeah, sorry for the lack of content on this channel. I've been full bore on the second channel. If you don't follow, please go ahead and check it out, Supercharged Homes. I've been busy doing a lot of stuff. Did that last week and did the ship lap yesterday and down there. See a little tree right there. But the good news is the next month or two is gonna be focused just on the garage. So that'll be on both channels so you guys can see what's going on with the house and the car stuff. So let's go to the car. Let's talk about the GTI and future C8 most likely. All right, got this show on the road here. What's today, Sunday? Yeah. Neighborhood's coming right along. This house is gonna be really cool. So here she is, man. I've had this car a month and 2 days. Crazy, right? Not a huge fan of the color. They had the green I really liked, but I got what I got. It's one of the very last leftovers of the 2024s. So this car, MSRP was 35. I got it out the door right at 30. And you get a lot for 30. I remember when $30,000 was crazy amount of money for a car. Now that's like entry level, which is almost laughable. So I bought this car simply because I needed a new daily driver. My other daily driver, Mini Cooper, it's 16 years old. I don't trust it driving long distances. It's having a lot of misfire issues, sort of. It's weird. A Mini Cooper is not a very reliable car. So I wanted something brand new that'll last me a while until I get back into another C7 and or C8. Values on the C8s were tumbling, so I cashed out when I could. The one thing about this car I'm not a huge fan of is all the force feed buttons, or all the touch buttons. There's a word for it, I can't think, I'll put it right here. I'm getting used to it. For even the heated seats, you gotta go here, you gotta press it a couple times, which is okay. Not a huge fan. But again, this was $5K under my budget for a new daily, so I pulled the trigger. It's funny, I bought my first Corvette at 21, bought my first GTI at 40. It's kind of backwards. But I was shocked at how quick this little car is. It's advertised at 250, I think, horsepower, 253 or something, but it feels closer to 300, man. Way back when I had a Dodge Neon SRT4 rated at 230, and that car was quick for what it was. Now I say quick loosely. A Corvette, the C8 was fast. My C5Z is fast. This car, it's quick. It is. It's a 4-cylinder turbo, you know. But it gets the job done, and it's nice. I got 4 doors now for the family, which is great. It's crazy watching all these houses go up. Just a year ago, this was all nothing, just farmland, as far as the eye could see. Oh, they're probably painting that house. Looks good. That guy right there. So in any case, yeah, the GTI 2024, very last year of the manual transmission. And that's kind of why I scooped it up, because like I said, my budget was 35 for a new little beater. I was looking at the WRX, which was nice. I think it's just terrible on gas. Civic Si, the Hyundai Elantra N, and this guy. And this was just the cheapest option, brand new, with the best gas mileage. And it runs on the regular 87, which is pretty cool. All kind of customization though. Different views and stuff. A lot of this is borrowed from Audi and then kind of trickled down to Volkswagen. This is cool if you have GPS on. I don't right now. And I like just the standard view right here. Does the trick. The clutch in this thing is very interesting. It's very easy to drive, but it almost feels synthetic, if that makes sense. The clutch, it feels almost like fly-by-wire. The shift action feel is great. The shift knob, it's weird. It's like a little golf ball shape on the inside. It's interesting. Not bad, it's not great. There's no slop in it though, which is nice. Not really sure what happened there, but driving there, I lost audio on my GoPro, so we'll do a fun little drive on the drive home here from Home Depot. Cool. All right, yeah, so overall, the GTI, really good driving experience. experience for what it is. But yeah, this is, you know, night and day to a Corvette, obviously. And again, just my little daily. But it's nice having a little hatchback, you know, all kind of stuff in the back here. Got some lumber and stuff. You can't even tell what's back there. It's back there. Oh, shit, I need to get a shed soon in my backyard. Oh, so, okay, this real quick. This is the epitome of German over-engineering, but it kind of works, right? So you got a cup holder. This thing flops around, you know where we're going to put it. Hit this little button. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. But I get it. It's funny. Kind of cracked me up. All right, so you got wireless charge port down there. You got some USB-Cs up there. Heated seats, not cooled seats, unfortunately. I've always thought the plaid pattern on the GTI was kind of fun, and it's flanked by Alcantara, so it's not a leather seat, but it still feels kind of nice. These are probably the most comfortable seats I've ever had in a car. Holy cow. Holy cow. They're a little firm, but every inch of it supports you in some way. So good job, Volkswagen, on your seat design here. Really impressed with that. A little bit of torque steer when you get on it. Not as bad as, let's say, like a old SRT4. That thing would have you in a ditch. Yeah, front wheel drive torque steer's come a long way in the last 20 years. Yeah, it's a quick little guy, man. And loses the front tires really easily though. And it's a little chilly outside. We'll see how it does in the summer months. But the cabin's quiet. However, the run flats they put on this guy from the factory are kind of annoying. When I say kind of, they're very annoying. Almost like a high-pitched num coming through the cabin. We'll see how long I keep these run flats. I don't know. All right, so that's a quick little overview of the GTI. Fun little daily driver car. I do like it. I have no car payments now on any cars, which is nice. So with that being said, once the garage is done in the new house, a lift is installed, the more things are squared away, I will be getting back into a probably C8. Why I say probably C8? I'm a very casual watcher of the Rick Conti show on the YouTube, and he's pretty confident. I've been on the fence about this, whether or not GM is going to introduce a C8 Grandsport. Now, asterisk on that. Taj in the past has stated there's no reason for a Grandsport because it would be the slowest C8 Corvette because the stock Stingray is very fast for what it is, and it makes sense. So it would be a little heavier, right? And then you have much wider tires on it. You'd have to fill the gap, and it would have much more footprint or friction on the ground. So it would be a hair slower than the Stingray. I'm not worried about that if they were to do that. I don't race cars. I'm a car enthusiast. I appreciate the art behind them, how they look, like tinkering with them. I appreciate the engineering behind cars. Now, if you're a track-focused person, get a Z06, right? Or a new ZR1, okay? Or an older ZR1. I just appreciate cars for what they are. I'm getting off track here. In any case, yeah, so if GM were to introduce a C8 Grandsport at like an $80,000 price point, that is perfect for my needs. I would get it new, or maybe even, you know, discounted, maybe at this point, you know. I love the new Hysteria Purple. That with black wheels and yellow calipers is a amazing spec. But I also like the yellow too, so it'd be a toss-up. I'm leaning towards the purple. So now, if GM does not introduce a Grandsport, I don't know. E-Ray is still on the table. The Z06s are dropping in value very quick. Used ones, that is. And then, of course, there's always a wide body C7. I do love a Grandsport C7. I love the Carbon 65. Such a pretty color, pretty car. So we'll see. That's a year from now situation. And of course, getting another C8, it won't be like it was before waiting 2 years. You can go to almost any dealership and scoop one up. Now, getting a Grandsport, there will be probably demand because they're going to get the wide body looks for just a little more than a Stingray, right? So as soon as they announce it, my name is going on that list. In fact, I should, if anyone knows Rick Conti, or if he tag him in this video, because if the day they pull the trigger on it, I want my name on that list, and I'll fly out there and grab one from him. So, or I'll probably email my dealer, got my C8 ads this week or something to that effect. So in any case, yeah, that's what we're doing with the next Corvette, I think, most likely. And again, I love my Stingray. It's just I pulled the trigger and cashed out because like I said, the prices were tumbling so fast. And it's been a month and my Stingray is still on their lot. 10,000 mile car. I think they want 63 or 64 for it now, and they can't move it. So I think I did the right thing. I would have been farting with it for 6 months trying to get a price for it. So the fact I got 62.5, I am very happy. Whew, man. So I had to make a business decision. That's all it was. So, all right, what else is going on? Like I said, yeah. So the second channel is going, it's doing its thing. The two channels we kind of intertwined for a while doing the garage. And if you like that kind of stuff, please tune in for the garage build. It's going to be a good one. Yeah, as far as living down here in North Carolina, I love it, man. You know, I'm 30 minutes from Old House, but it's like the country down here. It's quiet. It's more affordable. The taxes are super, super low compared to where I'm coming from. I'm definitely looking forward to the summer months. This winter's been crazy. It's been chilly down here. It was a month straight of high 20s to low 30s high, which is not common for North Carolina. So hopefully it'll warm up soon, get the C5 out, get that guy going. I do want to do a full paint correction on that guy the next month in between doing the garage. I'm really buffing the whole thing out. Get it back to showroom looking conditions. That'll be a fun little series doing that. But in any case, guys, I'm rambling now. I think that's all I got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And I'll catch you in a couple days on the other channel. Just make sure you guys tune in if you like doing tinkering on home projects as well. So, all right, guys, go enjoy your Sunday. I'm going to do the same. Take care. Mark out.